Today I want to talk about how much it actually cost us to build our cabin. And where am I? Well, we're actually staying at one of Hayden's friends, and he also likes building. Our sleep out is 7.2 meters long by 3 meters, and it has no plumbing, no solar on the roof, no fireplace, and this meant we could build it without the council permission. In New Zealand you can go up to 30 square meters, and ours is just over 21, about 22 square meters. I actually started researching how much would it cost to get council approved so we could either extend it or add some plumbing and a fireplace, etc. Turns out you would need to fix it permanently onto the ground with, say, piles or cement or something. That's when prices started adding up. Overall, our cabin cost us $19,000. Some things that would have added to the price would have been the double glazed door and window that I bought, the largest I could find, and we did decent insulation as well. Plus, the price of wood has definitely gone up right now, and I was reading a news article saying that prices could possibly go up another 35% by the end of this year, which is painful. Painful! We saved some money on the cabin build because, well, Hayden built it, the whole thing himself. We also went to demolition traders in Hamilton and purchased as much as we could through them because it was cheaper. Okay, Reese is joining us for the rest of this. What cost us the most in the build was definitely the structural wood. That cost us about 6,500 New Zealand dollars. Oh yeah, that was... Okay. So I kept all the receipts and tried to make note of the cost of everything out of curiosity for the end of this project. And well, with that 6,500, I would say half of it would be just the basic wood, the 100 by 50 H1 wood, which was kind of surprising when I'm looking at the cost breakdown. The floor ply cost us about $600. That was 17 millimeters thick, and it was an H3. And the skids and floor structure cost about 1,000 New Zealand dollars. They were 140 by 45 planks, and they were also H4 to make sure that there was no water damage. The second most expensive item was the sliding door and the front window. All up they cost $4,000. The sliding door on its own cost about 2.5. I got the front window cheaper probably than if I'd ordered it specifically, because it was a return from another builder, possibly wrong colour or not quite the right size or something. But I love it. I'm so glad I got that one. Makes the most of the views. The sliding door, I had ended up getting a larger size than initially planned, just because the smaller one was never in stock and there was they didn't know when it would arrive, and I decided it was more important to have a sliding door to be able to carry on with the project and get the cabin finished before this little guy turned up. And then some surprises with the doors and windows. I hadn't really known about things like flashing to go along the top to prevent water from getting in, and those little things do add up. And then also things like timber lining around the doors and windows, they all add up. What I hadn't taken into consideration was the cost of all the nails and screws, and to be honest I don't know the overall cost because Hayden had some in already, but for example a pack of nails for the nail gun cost $90, and it all adds up. So all up the cladding cost $2,000, $1,500 for the cladding on its own, and about $500 for things like the bracing and the builder's wrap, things like that. And then I haven't even included the cost of staining the cladding. So far we've spent $300, and that's just staining the back. So I would guess it's another $400 or $500 to finish staining the exterior. That's still on our to-do list. Then the next most expensive item was the interior lining, which ended up costing $1,400, and we got cheaper stuff again through Demolition Traders, and we used poplar plywood. We didn't use jib because Hayden hates plastering apparently, and I actually really liked the wooden effect at the front and the side around the windows. The downside with that way, I think, is you could see the lines on the ceiling afterwards. So if I was doing it again, I'd maybe go for the planks on the ceiling, have the plank look. That's very in fashion in van life at the moment. And that's not even including the cost of the paint. Paint cost around $600, and that's just for 3 sides. Then we used linseed oil, which was quite affordable, on the wooden features. And the next most expensive item was the insulation. We ended up using pink bats just because we could buy them locally, easily. We don't have that many stores nearby, and we went for what is recommended in the Ruapehu area. It's a colder area in the North Island, so we ended up using an R3.6 in the ceiling, and then R2.6 in the walls. And what do we use for the underfloor? And then underfloor was R1.4. Do we need to take a break filming? Hey? Do you want to take a break? What has surprised me in the cost was the nails and the screws and all those fiddly little attachments. I just hadn't kind of realized how much it would all add up. I don't actually know because Hayden already had a lot of nails and screws available, but we used a lot. The guttering ended up being really affordable, coming in at just over $250. That's partly because I really did hunt around and found a affordable shop that sold the black guttering, which I had my heart set on. I think it was called NZ Pipes, and even with the cost of postage, it was much cheaper than going through the local hardware shop. And the carpet, I ended up going for a pure wool blend that had been heavily discounted. It ended up costing $1,300. It's beautiful carpet, probably kept us warmer than other options this winter, but the colour isn't great because it really does show the light pumice that's all around us whenever we walk in and out of the cabin. And in a way, vinyl might have been an easier option, but at the same time, we're on the ground a lot with this guy, so it's quite comfortable. And that overall cost doesn't actually include the wiring, which we haven't even finished for the lights yet, or the diesel heater, or the solar. And I'm really glad I kept a document recording the prices for everything. It will be very helpful for our future project, which I will talk about more in a future video. So please subscribe if you haven't already.